वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. This shloka means, O Ganesha of the curved trunk, who has a large body and whose splendor is similar to 1,000,000 suns, Deva, please make my undertakings free of obstacles by extending your blessings in all my work. Like all beginnings, I want to start these folk story collections with Ganesha from the shloka above. Do you know who is Ganesha? He is an elephant-headed god in Hinduism. Ganesha is short, stout, but he is loved by all. Ganesha's mount is a mouse. Yes, that does sound odd. An elephant-headed god on a mouse. But it has its symbolism. A mouse is a destructive animal, just like the human mind that thinks 1,000,000 strands of thoughts at the same time. But Ganesha can control his mind with his knowledge. That is his power. So, in some cases, Ganesha is even called as Vigneshwara, which means the remover of obstacles. In all of Ganesha's idols, he is generally represented with a single tusk instead of two. There are many stories for that, and the most interesting folk story is that of Chandra and Ganesha. And who is Chandra? That is Chandra Deva. Literally translated, that is the moon god. Many ancient cultures worship the moon both as a god or as a goddess. Selene and Luna are the moon goddesses of ancient Greece and Rome. Ibis and Khonsu are the male gods of moon in ancient Egypt. In Hinduism, Chandra Deva is the moon god. There's a cute folk story which makes Chandra Deva as the reason that Ganesha has a single tusk. No, it is not just Chandra Deva. Ganesha's mount also plays its part in the story. Ganesha and his mouse were happily going back home. And why were they happy? Ganesha's devotees had presented him with plenty of sweets. The elephant-headed god had stuffed himself with as many sweets and delicacies as he could, and he was carrying a lot of them back home. But it was late, and Ganesha's home could be reached only on crossing a dense forest. It was a bad combination for the mouse. To make matters worse, a huge snake sprang up in the forest before Ganesha and his mouse. Naturally, Ganesha did not even react to this, but it was quite a different story for the mouse. What would a mouse do in a dense forest when a snake sprang up before it? The mouse did what any mouse would do. The mouse ran and did not look back. Naturally, Ganesha did not expect this. He fell. Worse, all the sweets that Ganesha had scattered on the forest floor. Worst was that Ganesha's stomach had been pierced because of the fall. Not good. Naturally, Ganesha did what he was supposed to do. He did not panic. He subdued the snake and he tied the snake as a belt around his stomach. In the moonlight, Ganesha looked around for his mouse and his remaining sweets. That was when there was wild laughter from around, from the skies to be specific. Chandra Deva had seen all of this, and he could not stop himself as he burst out laughing. Chandra regretted this. A minute later, when the little Ganesha pulled himself up from the forest floor, Ganesha was angry. Naturally, Chandra could do nothing when a massive tusk came flying towards him. Ganesha, in annoyance, had plucked out his tusk and thrown it at the moon. Chandra could not survive that. The moon shattered into 1,000,000 pieces when the tusk struck it. Chandra was numb with shock, and that was not the worst part of the day or the night for Chandra. You will lose all your shine, the little Ganesha told Chandra with a huff. Naturally, as soon as the words were uttered, the moon lost all its luster. What would Chandra do after that? Pleading with Ganesha did not work. It just did not. So Chandra did the only thing he could do. He went to Shiva, Ganesha's father. That led to some parental intervention, and finally Ganesha relented. Ganesha altered Chandra Deva's curse. After that, for half a month, the moon would grow, and for the other half of the month, the moon would wane. This was the best redemption that Chandra could get. And Ganesha has always been depicted with a single tusk after that. The mouse came back eventually, and things went back to normal. Well, as normal as we see things today in the waning and the waxing moon, and more importantly, a lesson for us not to make fun of people.